Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are diving headfirst into Sarah Adams's latest romance, In Your Dreams. We're talking small town, a chef, a farmer, all the ingredients for some serious warm and fuzzy feelings. But the big question is this the perfect comfort read for you? Well, let's figure that out together.
Okay, I want to kick things off with a quote that just perfectly, and I mean perfectly, captures the vibe of this book. The plot is softer than a marshmallow pavlova. Right away, you know we're not talking about some high-stakes, nail-biting drama. Nope, this is all about something sweet, something light, something designed to just make you feel good. It's basically a dessert you can read.
So here's the quick breakdown, the need to know. At its heart, it's a super sweet small-town story. You've got your chef and your pining farmer, a classic combo. Now, it's definitely low on the spice scale, but it is high on emotion. And this is a big one. It's got those series finale vibes, which means it's tailor-made to be the ultimate comfort read. We're going to unpack what all of that means for your TBR pile right now.
All right, so first up, let's just soak in the atmosphere of this book. What exactly makes it a cozy comfort read? Well, it really all starts with the genre itself.
For anybody who might be new to the term, a cozy rom-com isn't here to shock you with crazy twists. The whole point, the entire goal, is to feel like a warm hug in book form. The focus is all on that emotional connection, the gentle laughs and conflicts that feel, human-sized. And it almost always takes place in a town that feels like coming home.
And speaking of settings, meet Rome, Kentucky. And trust me, this town is so much more than just a backdrop. It is a full-on, living, breathing character in this story. This is the kind of place where everybody knows your business. The gossip mill is always churning, and something like a new restaurant opening? Oh yeah, that's treated with the drama of a season finale.
Okay, now let's get to the real heart of the story, the people who make it all tick. The entire novel really hinges on the dynamic between our anxious chef and our super earnest farmer.
So on one side, you've got Madison Walker. She's burned out, she's witty, and she is an absolute pro at using humor to hide all her grief and self-doubt. And then you've got James Huxley. He's her brother's best friend, and he is the classic, quiet, pining farmer. He's steadfast, he's loyal, and he sees everything about her. He's this grounded, stable force, which is the complete opposite of her chaotic world. And that's where all that delicious tension comes from.
But of course, it's not just about them. The supporting cast here is absolutely crucial. You've got James's charming younger brother, Tommy, who kind of stirs the pot. Then there are Madison's own siblings, who create this loving but, intense family pressure cooker. And you can't forget the townsfolk. They are like this meddling Greek chorus, always pushing things along with their well-meaning and sometimes not so well-meaning interference.
So, how does this all come together? The thing to remember here is that the plot isn't really driven by shocking events. It's driven by how the characters feel about what's happening around them.
Madison's journey really unfolds in three big steps. First, there's the homecoming. She's forced to come back to her tiny hometown, completely humiliated after her career in New York just imploded. Next, you have the reluctant partnership, where she has to team up with James to build something new. And finally, it all culminates in the opening night disaster that pushes all her buttons and forces her to face her deepest insecurities head-on.
This quote, man, it just gets right to the heart of what she's going through. And this is where the story finds its real weight. Her journey is described as brutally relatable, and that's because it handles her anxiety and grief with so much care. There's even an on-page panic attack depicted. It's just a really honest look at that pressure to always be the fun one, even when you're battling a massive fear of failure inside. Now, a quick but really important note about the romance. This is what we call a low-spice or closed-door novel. So what does that actually mean? It means the story prioritizes the emotional buildup, all that pining, the witty banter, that delicious slow-burn tension, over showing you explicit scenes. The focus is all on the journey to intimacy, not so much the physical details.
Okay, so we've covered the vibe, the characters, and the story. Now it's time for the moment of truth. Should you add this book to your cart? Let's figure out once and for all if this is the right fit for you.
All right, let's make this easy. You should absolutely pick this up if you love low-spice, closed-door romance. If you're a sucker for immersive small towns and heroines with really relatable internal struggles, this is for you. Big fan of tropes like friends to lovers or brother's best friend? Yep, get this book. However,
You should probably skip it if you need high steam levels in your romance, if you can't stand predictable plots, or if you're craving high-stakes drama. This one is all about the feelings, not the jaw-dropping plot twists.
Finally, let's talk about how this book is being received, because it doesn't just exist in a vacuum, right? It's the end of a beloved series, and that context is, well, it's everything.
So even before it was widely available, this book was already tracking as a huge crowd pleaser. An early Goodreads rating hanging around a 4.3 is seriously strong. But it's more than just a number. It's proof that the author knew exactly what her audience was hoping for, and boy, did she deliver.
And that really gets to the magic of its appeal. As the final book in the When in Rome series, it gives readers this incredibly cathartic and satisfying conclusion. Fans are calling it a farewell hug, and that's because it's not just about Madison's story. It's about seeing every single character you've grown to love find their happy ending. It's the book version of a TV series finale that just absolutely sticks the landing, you know? It leaves you feeling warm, happy, and just a little bit sad to say goodbye.
So, where do we land? Is In Your Dreams that perfect, gentle comfort read you've been searching for? Or does its marshmallow pavlova softness leave you craving something with a little more heat? Ultimately, it really all comes down to what you're looking for in a story. Thanks for hanging out with me to break this one down, and happy reading.